When you went to Storms Academy, was it a 12-week program? Was there like was it that kind of thing? Or was it one of those things where you just show up and you get to, wrestle as long as you're paying? Or is it upfront money, 12 weeks, and you're in and out?
So basically so I've done Lancers 4 times now. So I did Lancers in the first time initially as a student, and it's the 12 weeks you pay up. He didn't have anything then. It was literally just like I was living at that dude's place, and it was 12 weeks, Monday through Friday for 3 hours, from 9 till 12. So that's what it was for 12 weeks. And then I ended up coming back. I went home, and then I came back for a holiday because I'd never seen Canada or Calgary or anything, because all I did was work 2 jobs and wrestle. So that's all I did. So when I was on there for holiday for 2 weeks, Lance blew his knee out wrestling in Japan. And I was leaving a few days later, and I said to his wife actually, because I became quite good friends with the family, I said, look, I'm happy to cancel my flight home. I can stay in Canada for 6 months without a visa, and I can just take the bumps for Lance. And she says, look, he's really stubborn. He's going to say no, but could you please do that? Because that's going to help. Like, his knee's bad. So I call Lance up and I offer it to him, and he just goes, yep, that'd be great. Didn't even say no. So I was like, all right, cool, man. Look, I obviously spend a lot of money with all this stuff, but I can get, I can probably borrow money from home. Like, do you have a place I can stay? Do you know anywhere, like, with your hookups in Calgary? And he said to me, look, my kids love you, my wife love you. So if you want, we have a spare room in our basement and you can stay with us for the 6 months. So I moved into Lancers for 6 months, and then I helped him with 2 classes then. I came back a few years later, which was the class that Tennille Dashwood was in, Emma. I did that class. And then I came back again and did the class that Peyton Royce was in. So I've done it, 4 times. And every time it's been 12 weeks, which was dope. They didn't have a house then. They do now. I mean, not anymore, but Lance got a house for the students to kind of rent out of and all kind of live together. And then those that didn't get into the house early, he would have hookups around town that they could pay rent and stay at. So eventually, because the classes got so big, it went to 4 hours. And then he had an advanced one where some of the guys would come in on the weekend. So that was during when I was there, and I would just help out wherever I could, and take bumps and get my ass kicked. And I learned a lot. No shit, during that 6 months was where I probably learned the most, because one thing is Lance is strict and harsh. But it's only for the best. It's nothing personal. So I still remember this to this day. To this day, I remember I was helping him teach a class, and he goes, put an armbar on. Now I've only been wrestling for 3 months, so I'm still new, I'm still learning, still trying to get everything. It's an armbar, and I'm trying to figure out, I'm wait, is it this one or this? And I took too long to think about it. He grabs and he goes, armbar? And I'm oh, fuck. And I just killed me, and I'm oh my God, never forget. And I just studied so much. So I learned so much because I was thrown in the deep end to help him teach. So he made me reinforce everything I knew. And then I'd watch Raw and SmackDown with Lance, and anything that he'd make a comment on something on Raw or SmackDown or something he didn't like, or something psychology wise or didn't make sense. And I'd sit there and I'd be I kind of knew what he meant, but I'd purposely what do you mean? I don't get it. And then he'd say it, and I'd literally run downstairs to the basement later that night and write all these notes down. Actually, it's funny because I found the book just the other day. This is this is back in 2005. Look at it. Doesn't even have a cover, but it's literally just full of notes that I learned at Lance's and living with him. And just and now that I'm teaching it, I just pass everything on that I've learned.